Hi everyone, I'm Lisa. Thank you so much for joining me in this strong flow today. So today we're going to concentrate on forearm stand. So if you usually use blocks, bricks, or if you would like to use them, please grab your props. Might be a good idea to prop yourself next to a sofa or the wall. I'll probably say a sofa is better, but you can always use a wall. So when you have everything you need, create your space. I'll meet you right here on the mat. So we'll start in whatever position feels good for you. I want to come to a child's pose. Choose a position that you can maintain and that you can soften into your breath. And once you arrive into your space, just close down the eyes. Soften into your shoulders. Soften into the facial muscles particularly. Now come to relax the rest of the body. Using this opportunity to notice how you physically feel. And using this time to slow down the breath. Taking big inhales through the nose, feel it all the way to the top. And an exhale through the nose. Keeping the breath nice and soft, inhales through the nose. Exhales through the nose. And keep going with a nice, soft, steady breath. Just noticing what it is that your body needs today. Taking note of how you mentally and emotionally feel. And keep that in mind as we flow through. Taking rests when you need to. Thinking positively. So rather thinking about the things that you can't do, think about how can you make the move feel good and accessible for your body today. But most importantly, we're keeping with this nice soft breath that we set already. Taking those deep inhales through the nose and easy exhales through the nose. So throughout the practice, the face shouldn't change, the breath shouldn't change. We'll take one more big inhales together. So take a big inhale through the nose, exhales through the nose. Wherever you are, we'll meet in a tabletop position, hands and knees. So like I always say, set your base up. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Hands about shoulder width distance apart, maybe a little bit wider if you need more space today. And you can always use this time to warm up into the wrists. I've done a few videos and warm-ups on this already, so if you want to warm up, then that's always a good idea. And then from here, we're going to come to a nice neutral spine. So the neck is nice and long. I'm scooping the belly button in, ribs in and together. So we're going to come to some pelvic tilts. So you're going to come to that neutral spine, take a deep inhale, and then as you exhale, hollow out the belly, push the ground away from you. So almost like you're in the cat pose, but notice how the hips, the pelvis slightly tucks under, and then you're going to slowly release. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, tuck it in, pelvic floor in and up, belly button in, ribs in and together. So this is also a different way to do your belly breathing, your diaphragmic breathing. So, quite a lot of us always forget that the diaphragm is part of the core. And the belly breathing really activates and deepens into the transverse abdominis. So just doing a couple of more rounds like this. So you shouldn't be moving too much here. We'll just do one last one. And then come back to a nice neutral spine. Taking your traditional cat-cow. So inhale, drop the belly, pull the chest through, the arms look up. And then as you exhale, round it in, chin towards the chest. A few more just like that. And just really moving with your breath. And make this your last one, coming to a nice neutral spine. So for this next bit, we're going to grab a brick, to place in between the inner thighs. You don't have to have something in between the inner thighs, but it's a really great place to kind of allow you to engage into the pelvic floor, to engage into the pelvic area, the glutes, the inner thighs. So if you don't have a brick, you can use a cushion or you can use a ball, whatever you've got. Squeeze into the brick, round into the upper back. Scoop the belly and the ribs in and together. Tuck 10 toes under as you hover the knees above the ground. Keep scooping. Take a deep inhale and then a full complete exhale. Keep breathing. Squeeze the two forearms together. Nice long neck as you hold here for 5, 4, keep squeezing. 3, 2, 1, slowly reset. And again, we'll come back to your floating tabletop, squeezing the brick. This time we'll add on. So take a deep inhale, and then as you exhale, hover the knees. So the hips shouldn't be too high up, because you really want to feel this in the core, so the knees should just slightly lift. Take a deep inhale, exhale, twist left, just the knees. Center, right, center. So keep squeezing into the brick. Almost feel like I'm trying to grab it, but you can't because you're so engaged. So we'll go left, center, right, center, left, center, right, center. Keep the shoulders facing forwards. Okay? Keep breathing as we hold it for 10, 9, engage, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last round. Release. Should feel it in the quads, maybe definitely in the inner thighs. Take a quick child's pose, big toes together. Knees about mat hips width distance apart, arms reach out, hands about shoulder width distance apart. Taking a big breath in, and an exhale through the nose. So hands about shoulder width distance apart, spread into the fingers, index finger facing forwards. Tucking the toes under, so the knees are way past the hips, okay? As you inhale, roll forward, plank pose. Keep shifting forwards, wrap the triceps back as you lower halfway down. You inhale, lift all the way back up. Exhale, seat to the heels. 2 more like that. Inhale, roll forwards. Keep shifting forwards, wrap the triceps back, lower halfway down. Inhale, lift all the way back up. Exhale, seat to the heels. One last time as you inhale, roll forwards. Shoulders and hips roughly in line, lower halfway down. Shrug the lats back. Nice broad chest. Inhale, lift all the way back up. Exhale, seat to the heels. This time around, we'll lift it up, downward facing dog. Once you arrive here, just wiggle around, however feels good for you. And then just gradually settling in your downward dog. As always, if this is your first downward dog of the day, just micro bend into the knees and find a little bit more length along the spine. Remember, the spine is what's important in the downward dog. Inhale, look at the front of you, slowly walk to the top of the mat, folding forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Press down the legs, inhale, lift you all the way up, reach the arms nice and high. Exhale, hands together, heart center. Take a big inhale, reach the arms nice and high. And then as you exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, plank pose. I'm going to start this first one with the knees behind the hips. Scooping the belly, ribs in and together. And I'm engaging into the glutes to stabilize into the pelvis. I'm squeezing the two forearms together to engage into the pecs. My neck is nice and long. And above all, I'm breathing nice and easy. So nothing changes in the shape, okay? So shoulder blades down and keeping the chest nice and open. As you shift it forwards, wrap the tricep back, keep engaging the core as you lower slowly all the way down. Point 10 toes as you inhale, find your back bend. Roll the shoulders back. And then as you exhale, tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale, look at the front of you, slowly walk or step to the top of the mat, folding forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Press down the legs. Inhale, lift you all the way up, reach the arms nice and high. Exhale, fold all the way back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, plank pose. Feel free to drop the knees to the ground. So again, if you're trying this plank with the knees off the ground, I'd like you to see with the heels stacked on top of the toes. My core is super engaged, and again, my glutes are switched on. I'm squeezing the forearms together, shoulder blades down, nice open chest. Nice long neck. Shift it forwards, wrap the tricep back, lower halfway down. And tuck the toes, inhale, find your back bend. And then as you exhale, use your core, downward facing dog. Inhale, look at the front of you, slowly walk to the top of the mat or step, folding forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Press down the legs. Inhale, lift you all the way up, reach the arms nice and high, find purpose. And then as you exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, plank pose. On the same breath, find your engagement, shift it forwards, wrap the tricep back, lower halfway down. And tuck the toes. Inhale, find your back bend. And then as you exhale, downward facing dog. If you want to come for a quick child's pose, you're more than welcome to. Breathing in through the nose wherever you are, and exhaling through the nose. Again, just checking in with what your body needs. Staying positive and full of life throughout this practice. You're going to inhale, roll forward, find your plank pose, and as you exhale, wave it back, downward facing dog. And again, just like that, so inhale, roll forwards. Exhale back. This time around, you're going to inhale, roll forwards. And then as you exhale, settle into your plank pose. So notice I'm shifting my feet back behind me. So for this next bit, you can always stay on top of the hands for your plank. You can lower the knees. You can come to the forearms. You can come to the knees with the forearm plank. So take whatever variation feels good for you. Wherever you are, we're going to do some scapular shrugs. So the scapula is between the shoulder blades, and it's often the weakest, or one of the weakest areas for a lot of us. But you know, you use your scapula for a lot of arm balances, obviously side planks and stuff like that. So it's really good to just work into between the shoulder blades. So all we're doing, if you're in a plank pose, you're keeping the arms nice and straight, okay? Wherever you are, find engagement in your core. You're still in a plank pose. You're going to round into the upper back, think cat pose, and then as you exhale, shrug the chest down. So think about pinching the shoulder blades together. And then round, and then shrug. So nothing's really changing. You're not moving the hips. You're just shrugging the shoulder blades. Okay, so we'll start here. Keep rounding into the upper back. Take a big breath in, and then as you exhale, we'll shrug. So we'll round for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last round, right forearm side plank. Again, keep the knees off the ground. You can lower one knee or you can stack both knees. If you're stacking both knees, it's best to scooch the knees further down. Okay. Nice clean line, shoulder stacks on top of shoulders, hip on top of hip. So again, we're just warming up into the shoulder, the scapula, dipping the hips down and then lift it up. Okay. So we'll tap for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, keep breathing, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here, tiny pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left hand finds the ground. Square yourself off to the front of the mat. So I'll probably again go a little bit wider in the base. I'm still on the right forearm and I'm on my left hand. My left hand is scooched a little bit further out towards the left, maybe splaying the fingers out a little bit to give my wrist and my shoulder a little bit more space. So find what works for you. The further forwards the left hand is, the less intense this will be on the left tricep. So just find what works for you. Wrap the left elbow in, so you're really firing up into the tricep. So what happens here is that this left hip is going to want to creep up. So it is your core, your body awareness that's going to keep the hips facing down. Okay? Bear that in mind. I'm finding engagement. I'm really pinching that left side. And then we're going to rise up, come to this funky downward dog. Yeah. The neck is nice and long. And again, I'm really using the tricep. Finding the engagement in the core. I'm shifting the gaze out in front of me. I'm going to rock forwards and we're going to rock back. So really roll onto the tippy toes, okay? When you're ready, we'll rock forwards for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. On your last one, we'll hold it here, tippy toe forwards. Lift your hips a little bit higher, maybe bend your knees, keep a nice long spine. Keep breathing, holding here for 5, 4, rock it forwards, 3, 2, 1, downward facing dog. Right away, as you inhale, lift your right leg nice and high. And as you exhale, step your right foot forward. Find a nice wide base, rise up, high lunge, arms towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, twist towards the right, split the arms nice and wide. Notice how my back knee bends to avoid hinging the torso forwards. Okay, squeeze into the inner thighs. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, left hand finds the ground roughly underneath the shoulders. Scoot your left foot back a little bit more as you twist towards the right. Watch out for your front knee, make sure it's still facing forwards. And the front knee is stacked on top of the ankle. Can you roll the right shoulder open on top of the left shoulder a little bit more without moving into the hips? Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, pivot 10 toes towards the right, rolling onto the pinky side of the toes. So we're on the falling lunge. Inhale, return back into your lower lunge, squeeze into the inner thighs, rise up, high lunge. And then as you exhale, we're gonna twist towards the right, drop your right arm down, left arm bend, so we're stretching into the tricep now. So place the left hand between the shoulder blades as you take a twist and a side bend towards the back leg. You can stay here. If it's in you, you can always interlace the fingers. Should feel like a nice stretching on the left side, the tricep, the shoulders, and maybe the psoas. Inhale, roll it through your high lunge. And then as you exhale, pivot the left toes out. Squat into this left leg Skandasana. Choose your level of Skandasana, so you can have the right toes up. You can spin it down, maybe you're a little bit higher. We're trying to ground that left heel. Squeeze the inner thighs together, shift the gaze out in front of you. You're gonna reach it forward, lean forward, warrior 3. Left leg floats, hips are facing forwards, chest are facing forwards. Choose whatever variation of a warrior 3 you like. Maybe you wanna use some bricks. You know, do your very best to keep this front leg straight, but you're not hyperextending. Keep pulling back on that right hip as the left hip goes forwards. Keep breathing. Press down the right leg, inhale as you all the way up, roll the knee in. And then as you exhale, drop the left knee next to the right. So really squeeze this left heel towards the glute. Fire up into the hamstring here. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, we're going to do some shrimp squats. So sink the butt back as you slide your left knee down. The chest leans forwards to avoid sending the knee too far forwards over the toes. And then slide it all the way back up. Whatever you like to do with the arms, up to you. So we'll slide it down for 10. Keep breathing. 9. 8. 7. 6. Keep squeezing the hamstring. 5. 4. 3. 2. Last round. Hold it low. And then lift it all the way back up. Give it a quick shake if you need to. And then float it back, warrior 3. Your hands can again, always can drop onto the floor or onto the brick, up to you. Take a big inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, bend into that right leg and then straighten for 10. 9. 8. Keep breathing. 7. 6. Engage into that left quad, don't allow it to limp. 5. 4. 3. 2. Keep breathing. Last round. And then we'll come into, let me just scooch back. We'll come into a floating standing split. Reach your left leg high, arms by your side. So really engage into the core here, the pelvic floor. You can always bring the fingertips to the ground. Keep reaching the arms nice and high. Engage into the left glute. And if you need to, shake it out. Keep breathing. Press down that right leg. Inhale as you all the way up. Tuck the left knee in. And then as you exhale, wrap the legs for eagle pose. So you can either tap your toes to the outside of that right foot, single wrap or double wrap. Keep squeezing into the inner thighs, engage into the pelvic floor, and if you want to add in the arm, the right arm can always go underneath. Relax the shoulders. Think cat-like in the upper back. Take a big inhale, unwrap, and as you exhale, interlace your fingers behind you. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, bound warrior 3, left leg floats behind you. Keep lifting your right hip up, send your left little toe towards the ground. Bend into your right leg, land your left toes back behind you, bound high lunge. Micro bend into that back leg as you puff the chest forward. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, reach the arms high, high lunge. Should be slightly rest for your front leg. Find your breath. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, tip it down halfway. Parallel yourself to the ground. Spread into the right toes. You're going to spring to the top of the mat, left knee to that right elbow. Inhale, release. And then as you exhale, crunch. Inhale, release. Exhale, crunch. Inhale. Exhale. One last time, take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, crunch and hold here. Press down the leg, inhale as you all the way up. Woo, my outer left, right glute. And then as you exhale, move through your warrior 3. Hands find the ground, lower the left shin to the mat. Roll it open, modified side plank. Woo. Nice. Keep the chest and hips nice and open. Engage into the top leg. Then square yourself off to the front of the mat. Keep the right leg floating. Okay, so right hand underneath the shoulder, left knee underneath the left hip. Fire up into the right quad as your left arm reaches towards that left wall. So you're going to take a deep inhale, and then as you exhale, thread your left arm underneath that right arm. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right knee, right arm. Nice and slow, inhale, release. Exhale, thread. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, crunch. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch. Release your left hand to the mat, three-legged dog. Maybe roll it around. And then drop down onto the forearms. Keep your right leg lifted. So in this dolphin, you can either interlace the fingers or you can bring the arms or the forearms about shoulder width distance apart. You can also grab a brick and place it in between the elbows. Squeeze into the bricks because then you'll notice that the pecs begin to switch on and it avoids the elbows splaying out. So it's a good one to really feel into a forearm plank as we begin to set up for it. So when you're ready, you're in a one-leg dolphin, right leg super lifts up, so walk the left knee in a little bit more, maybe bend into that left leg. So what I tend to see is when we do one leg stuff, the one that's always up in the air looks a bit limp, so find engagement a little bit more. Think about sending the outer glutes back behind you, scoop the ribs in, shift the gaze out in front of you, you're going to rock forwards and backwards, okay? So we'll go up forwards for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last round, rock it forwards, and then release. Take a quick breather if you like. So as we come to the forearm stand, right? So you can either go up against the wall or you can go against the sofa. What I suggest, or I personally prefer going up against the sofa, is because sometimes when we kind of get the grips and the understanding of a forearm stand, we rely too much onto the wall. It's a psychological thing, right? But when you go against the sofa, you've only got half of that to protect you, right? To kind of help you prop it up. So let me tell you about the most common thing I see in a forearm plank. I mean, if you know how to go in the forearm plank, then please feel free to go ahead while you listen. What tends to happen in the forearm plank is that we create a banana shape in the back. You know, that's okay, but as we gradually progress in your yoga practice, you know, if you want to progress into your forearm stand, you need to really take yourself out of that banana shape. And that banana shape tends to happen because we're not open enough in the upper back, the lats, the shoulders, the triceps. So if you feel like you're not warmed up in the shoulders enough, then please feel free to pause and really warm yourself up into the shoulders, okay? The whole core section in this plan is what you need for this forearm stand. So the pelvic floor, there's 4 corners of the pelvic floor. Draw it all in and together, belly button in and then ribs in together and down. If a forearm stand isn't in your practice, then obviously you don't have to do it. You can just stay in a dolphin to just work in your shoulder strength, your scapula, your lats, and maybe just open your upper back up. Or you can just come into a child's pose. There are loads of different variations of a forearm stand, so you don't have to do the pike. I'll show you. Whew. So we'll lift it up, dolphin pose. My gaze is slightly in between the elbows. I probably wouldn't suggest personally to jump up, but you do you. I'm going to rock forwards and I'm going to rock back. So this might be enough for you today. I'm going to rise up onto my tippy toes. And then I'm going to go back. Maybe that's enough for you. Now take a quick breather. Oh, why did I decide to do this when I'm pregnant? Right, second time. Maybe you want to switch legs. So we'll lift your right leg up, we'll rock it forwards, and then we'll rock it back. Really get used of bearing weight in the forearms as you tippy toe onto the left toes. Again, maybe that's enough. Shake it off. Okay. I'm finding engagement, and I'm going to slowly lift up. My right glute is engaged, and I'm lifting up. I want to come to a straddle. Maybe I want to bend one leg, and then the other, and then I'm going to come down. So that's one variation of a straddle. You know, just have a swing of the legs, allow it to feel good, effortlessly, but yet you're still breathing. We'll try again in the second time around, because you've got to repeat everything. So if you like, if you haven't yet, just maybe take a seated position, take a child's pose, come back to your breath. Then when you're ready, we'll meet back, and we'll meet in a downward facing dog. As you inhale, roll forward, find your plank pose, and as you exhale, wave it back, downward facing dog. Grip on onto the mat with the fingertips. As you inhale, roll forward, ground into the inner palms, and as you exhale back. This time around, you're going to inhale, roll forward. Exhale, settle into your plank pose. So it might look different this time around. Maybe you want to try the hands. On the hands for a plank pose. I'm going to come to my forearms, knees behind me. I'm going to scoop. I'm going to really round into the upper back, scapular shrugs. So pinch the shoulder blades and then round. Okay, so we'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last round. Left forearm side plank. Pick whatever variation feels good for you. Shoulder stacks on top of shoulder, hip on top of hip. You can always stagger the feet or stack the feet. Tap the hip down, lift up. So we'll tap for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and your last one, hold it here. Tiny pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Set yourself up for your funky downward dog. So I'm on the left forearm, I'm on my right hand. I've got a nice wide base. I'm rolling my right hip down. Scoop the belly in. So maybe this time around you just want to scooch the knees back behind you for more of the plank version. If you feel ready, we're lifting up. Nice long breath. Shift the gaze out in front of you, rock forwards and backwards for 10. Really onto the tippy toes. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Wrap the elbow in. 3, 2, hips down. 1, hold it forwards, tippy toes for 5, 4, bend your knees if you need to. 3, 2, 1, downward facing dog. Oh, hold on. As you inhale, reach your left leg nice and high. Exhale, step your left foot forward. Find a nice wide base, rise up, high lunge. Take a deep inhale through the nose, and as you exhale, twist towards the left, split the arms nice and wide. Lean back with the left arm. And then we'll release, your right hand to the ground, coming for a twisted lower lunge. Scoot your right foot back. Left shoulder on top of the right shoulder. Take a deep inhale, exhale, falling lunge. Pivot 10 toes towards the long side of the mat, rolling onto the pinky side. Inhale, reach your left arm over the head, pivot 10 toes towards the top of the mat, lower lunge. And then as you exhale, rise up, high lunge. Take a big inhale, exhale, twist towards the left. Left arm down your left leg, right arm bends, placing the hand between the shoulder blades, and then lean the head back so you can stay here. Maybe grab that right elbow, or if you like, find the full bind if it's in you today. Keep breathing. And then inhale, roll it forwards, turn towards the long side of the mat, squat into the right leg, Skandasana. Again, choose your height. Keep the right heel grounded, nice open chest. Shift the gaze out in front of you. You're going to reach it forward, lean forward, float it up, warrior three, right leg lift. And don't allow the top leg to be limp. Are the hips facing forwards? Are you breathing? Press down the leg, inhale as you all the way up. Exhale, bend into the knee, find that hamstring crunch. Match the knees together. Just slowly slide the knee down and then lift it all the way up. So we'll go for 10. Crunch the heel in. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep breathing nice and slow. 4, 3, 2. Last one, hold it low. And then warrior three, right leg floats. Again, if you want to use the bricks, which I am going to, because I am done in, that's okay. Pull your left hip back, left hip up. Keep flexing with that right foot. Take a deep inhale, exhale, bend into your front leg, and then straighten. So we'll go for 10, 9, engage the right quad, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Floating standing splits. Bow the head down. If you want to release the fingertips, then you're more than welcome to. Engage into the pelvic floor. Right glutes become engaged. Arms reaches up. Then press down the leg. Woo! Inhale as you all the way up. Exhale, eagle pose. Back the legs, single, tap the toes, double round. Left arm underneath. Nice stretch in the shoulders for you, and in the lats. Take a big inhale, release. Exhale, interlace your fingers, switch the grip. Float your right leg back, bound warrior three. Keep zipping the ribs in, take a deep inhale, broaden across the chest. Exhale, bend into your front leg, land your toes behind you. Bound high lunge. Take a big inhale, maybe create a slight back bend. Exhale, bow down halfway. Spread into the left toes. Spring to the top of the mat, opposite elbow to opposite knee for 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Move through your warrior three. Land your hands to the ground, followed by the shin. Take a quick rest in your modified side plank. Woo. Why does everything seem harder when you're pregnant? Take a deep inhale, exhale. Shut yourself off to the front of the mat. Left leg is lifted. Hips are facing forward. I'm not adding in a back bend because I'm keeping the core engaged. The right arm is to that right wall. Take a big inhale, exhale, thread. Inhale, lift, nice and slow. Exhale, crunch on my count. Inhale, release. Exhale, thread. The moment you feel like you're rushing is the moment you need to slow down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch. For 3. Inhale, release. Exhale, thread. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch. One last time. Inhale, release. Exhale, thread. Inhale, lift. Exhale, crunch. Hands to the mat or forearms to the ground. Choose your variation. Lift it up, one leg dolphin. Engage into that left glute. Shift the gaze out in front of you, rock forwards and backwards. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Really rock onto the tippy toes. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last round. Quick release. Shake it off if you need to. So again, if you want to skip a forearm plank, you're more than welcome to. If you want to try that one leg up, rock it down, other leg rock it down and up and down. Maybe go against the wall or the sofa. Feel free to do that. Again, you can always skip. I'm engaging to the core. I want to find that engagement in the upper back. So I'm squeezing the two forearms together to engage into the pecs. Slight round in the upper back, but not like your cat pose. Rising up. Maybe tiptoe forwards. And then maybe you walk it up. And then down. Walk forwards. Tuck the foot in. Maybe you want to bend the top leg. And then walk down. Take a quick breather. Whew. See, this is like a psychological thing for me personally. When you're pregnant and you're trying to go upside down, which I wouldn't advise if you're not, if it's not your practice. If I was to go against the wall or a sofa, I could completely get my legs up. When you've got that slight psychological fear, it's blocked it into your brain, and you kind of like, oh, is it worth the risk kind of to get upside down? That's my journey personally for this time round. So it's always about being sensible. Maybe I'm going to take a different variation. I'm going to come to a straddle. And I'm going to hold a straddle instead. I'm going to keep breathing. I'm going to hold here for 5, 4, cores engage, pressing into the elbows. 3, 2, 1. Whew, shake it off. Take a quick child's pose. Release. Reset. So just going back to what I said at the beginning of the practice. What is it that I can do today? What is it that I can't do? Today I can't lift my legs up towards the ceiling, and that's okay. So I'll find a different route. I feel good, I feel energized. I'm burnt out, but I'm still breathing. I still got that nice soft breath. Keep reaching the arms out in front of you. Palm faces each other, pinkies towards the ground, and then spread across the shoulder blades as you sink the outer armpits towards the ground. Stretching into the lats. Maybe you'll feel this in the shoulders. I'm breathing. And then bringing the hands together, we'll bend into the elbows, send the fingertips behind you for a tricep stretch. Maybe bring the chin to the ground, sink the chest down. If you feel like that's not enough, then pop your arms up with a brick, or you can use a sofa, use whatever height feels comfortable. I just ask you to remember that the shoulders are super delicate, so just don't go crazy here. And then slowly release. Sliding your right shin forwards, come into a pigeon pose. Left leg long behind you, feel free to prop yourself up. You can stay where you are. If you like, take a big breath in, and then as you exhale, maybe fold forwards. So where your breath is, where your state of mind is in this pigeon pose should be the same state of mind and the same state of breath throughout the whole of the practice. That is what the practice teaches us. That's what the hard quotes, poses teach us to do, is to remain calm and steady with the mind and with the breath. If you want to add anything on here, then feel free to. Because remember, when the breath is steady, the mind is steady. When you're ready to trade sides, bring the left shin forwards, right leg long. And again, if you would like to add anything on, then feel free to. And then when you're ready, swing the legs out in front of you. Maybe keep the knees bent. Maybe sit on the edge of a couple of cushions or the block. Take a deep inhale, find your length. You can stay where you're at. If you like, just begin two-fold forwards. Peel the pinky toes towards the face. Engage into the quads, protect the hamstring. And just relax in here. Soften into your breath. And then coming all the way up. Slowly recline all the way back. Hugging the knees in and gently rock side to side. Grounding into the lower back, nice gentle massage. So we did a lot of compressing of the front body today, so let's open up a little bit in the front. Feet find the ground about hips width distance apart, 10 toes pointing forwards. You can always adjust yourself if you've got any knee pains and twiggles and stuff like that. Arms by your side. Nice open shoulders and chest. We'll lift your hips up, bridge pose. You can always interlace your fingers underneath. Engage into the glutes. You can hear the phone, I'm sorry. And then slowly release. All the way down. Hug the knees in. Gently rock side to side. Rocking so much the knees falls towards the right. Allow the arms to fall open, gaze towards the left. Soften a little bit more into the breath. Coming back through center, take a big inhale. Exhale, send the knees towards the left, gaze towards the right. Slowly begin to release your controlled breath. Finding your nice natural inhales through the nose and those nice natural exhales, maybe through the nose or a slight part of the lips. Coming back through center, hug the knees in and rock side to side. Take a big inhale through the nose, and then as you exhale, release the legs out in front of you. Arms by your sides, palm faces up, eyes closed, final pose. You can stay here as long as you need to. If you feel ready to move on, we'll roll onto the right side, nice and heavy. And then when you feel ready, we'll lift it all the way up, use the hands. Coming to a nice comfortable seated position, sitting really nice and tall. Taking a big inhale through the nose, feel it all the way to the top. And then the biggest sigh out. Bring the hands together and bow the head forwards. Showing love and gratitude to yourself and to this practice. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Check 1 2. 1 1 2.
Can you hear us? Take 1.
Take 1. Action.